The Oklahoma City Thunder advanced to the Western Conference Finals, beating the Denver Nuggets 125-93, getting back to their old ways and the way that they have won 68 games this year. So, of course, today we got to talk about Game 7 for Oklahoma City and how they won this game. Before we do that, though, as always, I want to hear from y'all. Join the discussion. Jump down in the comments below. Give me your thoughts. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you guys are joining the discussion, hitting that like and subscribe button. But the Oklahoma City Thunder beat the Denver Nuggets 125-93 in pretty dominating fashion, getting back to some comfortability here, beating Denver the way that they beat most teams this season. Now, obviously, going into the playoffs, I don't think there was an expectation you were going to blow teams out by 30 or 40 points every single night. But the Oklahoma City Thunder got back to some very key things that helped them blow teams out all season long. And if they continue to really build upon that, I think that this team is probably going to end up winning the championship. Now, I had Oklahoma City beating Denver in 6, so my prediction was a little wrong there, except for Oklahoma City is still advancing. But tonight was a pretty crucial game for the Oklahoma City Thunder because you had Jalen Williams coming off of a game where he was being highly criticized. SGA, a lot of people were saying that this guy needed to step up and really show us that he is the MVP of this league. And I really feel like you got that on both fronts, but you also had Alex Caruso step up in such a mighty way. So let's talk about it, right? SGA comes into this game and had an extremely efficient night. And when SGA plays like this, nobody's beating the Thunder. He had a night of 35 points on 12 of 19 shooting, 3 of 4 from 3, 8 of 9 from the free throw line. He had 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, 1 block. When SGA plays like this, nobody's beating the Thunder. And you've really, in this series, especially towards the end of the series, really found SGA figuring out how to beat this zone defense that Denver's been playing. And after a while, once SGA sees it, he's really able to dissect it, figure it out, get to the right spots, figure out what kind of leverage he needs to be able to utilize to be able to either get to the free throw line or just create enough space to get the open shots that you see him get quite often. And so you've seen SGA do that a lot. And if Minnesota wants to continue to do what Denver did and kind of run a zone defense in the next round, you would imagine that SGA is going to have a pretty good head start on trying to figure out how to beat that. So we'll kind of have to see what Minnesota is going to want to run there. But I think you're extremely impressed by SGA's performance. And at this point, he is the MVP of the league. The NBA needs to go ahead and just give him his trophy, give him his credit, because it's time. It's time. He played well. He did what he needed to. Now, Alex Caruso, I think, was probably the X factor, not only in this series, but in Game 7. You saw Alex Caruso come in. He played 26 minutes, the primary defender on Jokic, and it was a different look. And you definitely saw the Nuggets maybe not knowing how to handle this different look that they saw. And this was probably only going to be something that worked once. So pretty glad that Mark kept this in his back pocket for this game. But Caruso comes out there with his experience and, just really helps the team collect themselves and go out here and play the game they should all year. But he comes into the game, the Thunder are down by 11 points. If you're not a Thunder fan, you were kind of squirming at this point. He traps Christian Braun down by the corner 3-point line, and he gets him to basically get a traveling call right there. And you kind of saw the crowd completely change their mindset. I wasn't in the arena, but I would imagine that's where the energy basically took off 100 times fold, right? It definitely on TV, you could see the tension definitely fall a little bit with the crowd. But Caruso goes out there, creates that huge turnover, and then from there on out, it was a bloodbath, right? Oklahoma City started running and didn't look back. And so Caruso, being able to get him on what we did with the trade of trading Josh Giddey, not having to give up any of those first-round draft picks, that was an incredible addition for Oklahoma City because Alex Caruso brings in some veteran leadership for you. He brings in championship experience, which we knew this team desperately needed. So Alex Caruso tonight, lights out. Phenomenal. 26 minutes, 5 of 7 from the field, 1 of 3 from 3, 3 assists, 3 steals, plus 40 in the plus or minus. That was the highest on the team tonight. 11 points. 11 points. So Alex Caruso, I mean, this guy is going to be the reason why Oklahoma City wins a championship, in my opinion. What he is able to bring from an energy perspective and a defensive perspective, and also being able to come out and just shoot the 3 ball at a high percentage rate. He's been able to do that even when the Thunder haven't been shooting well. I think Alex Caruso is going to be the reason why Oklahoma City can get over the hump. Now, Jalen Williams was an interesting – this was interesting to watch because over the past couple of games, Jalen Williams, in my opinion, got very fair criticism. He has disappeared. He really was a non-factor in those games outside of being a defensive presence. And SGA really needed somebody else to step up. And you heard the statistics. I believe it was from Brandon Rabar. I can't remember if it was after Game 6 or maybe it was Game 5. But he talked about how Oklahoma City has only had one game where SGA had another teammate score 20 points, where Jokic had like 3 or 4. So for Jalen Williams tonight to help the Thunder make that run that they did in the second quarter, and I remember specifically where he had one layup to the rim between 3 guys, and then they pan in on a Nuggets fan. Like one absolute cinema there from the NBA crew. But Jalen Williams went 10 of 17 from the field, 2 of 5 from 3, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, 1 steal. You need this from Jalen Williams for the rest of the playoffs. This is how Jalen Williams needs to play. All season long, going into the playoffs, the conversation and the topic at point was, will Jalen Williams or Chet Holmgren step up in these playoffs and be second fiddle to SGA? I don't think Chet is ready to take that step up yet to be the second scoring option next to SGA. But Chet, I feel like, has been phenomenal in these playoffs, especially from a defensive perspective. He's obviously had a couple of bad games in there. Jalen Williams has had great moments. But Jalen Williams needs to find a way to be a little bit more consistent. And a lot of that is, this is only his second year. This is only his second year in the playoffs. So he's only going to get better. But if you're an Oklahoma City fan, that's what you're asking Jalen Williams. You're not asking him to go out there and, score 30-plus points a night. You're just asking him, be consistent. Go out there and get, 17 to 20 points a night, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal or 1 block. If you do that, Oklahoma City's going to have a good chance to win pretty much every game going forward, because that's all it takes. Just 1 degree. That's all you need. So the Oklahoma City Thunder, they go out here and they beat the Denver Nuggets, and the way that they beat most teams this season, that's how they got a 68-win record this year with one of the best, plus or minuses in the league this year in scoring differentials. So I want to hear from y'all. We're going to talk about Game 1 tomorrow. So make sure you guys tune in for that. But I want to hear from y'all. So join the discussion. Jump in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think about this Game 7 win for Oklahoma City. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys hit that like and you hit that subscribe button.